what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are doing the breakdown video for our, well, this is the Prograis versus Zepeda breakdown video. As it's going to see Regis Prograis, the former junior welterweight champ at 140, battling Jose Zepeda, the former two-time world title challenger, as they will compete for the vacant WBC title at 140 pounds. This is a big fight right here. You know, a lot of people, you know, because these two guys aren't like the upper tier names in terms of, you know, star power, this fight might be getting overlooked. And it's also taking place on its own, like, private pay-per-view, that, you know, sucks because, you know, not one of the major networks are bringing you the fight. But one, these two guys are getting paid fat because of, I think, I want to say it was Pro Bellum, but I might be wrong. But whoever won the rights to promote this fight and to air it are paid a lot of money to get it going. So these guys are getting paid fat for this fight. And it really is a big fight right here. You have Regis Prograis, you know, top 5 junior welterweight, only loss of his career to Josh Taylor when they fought back in 2019 against Zepeda, who's been on fire. And, you know, his career, he's got 2 career losses, but one was an injury after 2 rounds when he was undefeated fighting for a title at lightweight. And he lost a second round TKO because he got hurt. And then the other one was a razor thin loss to Jose Ramirez, who's a former unified champ at 140. So neither of these guys, even though they're not undefeated, have tasted a convincing defeat where they were decisively defeated in their fight. So they're coming in, they're hungry, and they're fighting for the vacant WBC title, and a win here elevates them to right at the top of the division. Obviously, Josh Taylor's the man at 140. Everybody knows that. But we don't know if his days are numbered, and I absolutely believe that the winner of this fight can compete, and we already know that Prograis can compete with Taylor, and Zepeda has competed with guys that Taylor has fought, like Jose Ramirez. So, and we know Zepeda is on a higher level than guys like Jose Pedraza. These two guys are 2 top 5 guys fighting for, you know, a vacant world title to put themselves right at the top of a loaded division, especially for fighters that have links to top rank like Zepeda does. You know, Teofimo Lopez is sitting there, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. The winner of this fight has a mandatory title defense against Jose Ramirez next, which is a big fight for either one of them. So this is a big fight right here. I can't wait to see it. And I'm probably going to go and order it, you know, because I want to see the fight that bad on the 26th. November 26th, pay-per-view, Prograis versus Zepeda. Now, as we normally do on breakdown videos, we're going to start with the favorite, quote-unquote, and move to the underdog. And here's the thing. I think this is as close to a 50-50 fight, and there's not a champion coming in. So I'm going to start with Prograis on this video because Prograis is a former champion, Zepeda is not. That's the only reason why here. And then we're going to, you know, and I'll break it down like that. We ask the same questions on both sides, what kind, you know, and then I talk about what kind of style fight they need to have, what they're doing rolling in, and then the final 2 are, is it better for boxing if one or the other wins, and then the final, my prediction on the fight. So we start with the first thing, which is, or we start with Regis Prograis, the former WBA champion here at 140 pounds. Rolling into this fight, you know, he's only fought in each calendar year so far since the loss to Taylor back in October of 2019. He returned in, I think, Halloween of 2020 and knocked out a guy named Juan Heraldez. He knocked him out in 3 rounds. Then he took on veteran Ivan Redkach in 2021, knocked him out in 6. And then he took on a guy earlier this year named Tyrone McKenna and stopped him in 6 rounds. You know, so coming in, he hasn't had major fights since the loss to Josh Taylor. But even that loss, which is going to be just over 3 years since that loss, that was a very close fight, and he went pretty much to Taylor's home country. Even though Taylor's Scottish, they fought in the United Kingdom. That was in the World Boxing Super Series finals, and he lost a close decision to Taylor. It was a majority decision, I believe, and it was a fight that he was definitely in. So he's rolling into this one. He's never tasted a real defeat. He's 27-1, 23 knockouts. Let's not forget how much power Prograis has. He's a good, solid boxer puncher, and he's definitely hungry to get back into that upper tier mix because he's been avoided. He's tried to get the rematch with Taylor. He's tried to get big fights, but his promotion, alongside with guys not wanting to fight him and take the risk, have hurt Prograis the last 3 years since the loss. So he's hungry and he's raring to go in this fight, and he's coming in wanting to become a world champion again and lead to those big fights that are down the road. In terms of money fights, the bigger money fights. So he's coming in ready to go. And it's just he's only fought about 15 total rounds in 3 years' time now. So hasn't been very busy. I hope he's in very good shape because he needs to be ready for 12 rounds against Zepeda. Now, what kind of style does he need to have to win this fight? Well, they're both the same height, so that's not going to be an issue. But Zepeda has the reach advantage by 3.5 inches. So he's going to need to make sure that he gets on the inside and throw a jab. I mean, the guy who wins the boxing battle of this fight has a very good chance because these guys are both power punchers. They're both heavy hitters. And Prograis, though, is a natural 140 pounder. This is where he started. This guy his power has started at 140, whereas Zepeda's hasn't. So I think he's got a power advantage. Doesn't need to go for broke against Zepeda, though. Zepeda's been in those wars, and he's won a war like that against Barianchik in the fight of the year in 2020. Prograis, that's not his style. Get in there, bang a little bit, but also box. Use those skills, but he's going to have to make up for the reach disadvantage that he has in this one. So we'll see. But I think if he boxes, punches, and, he sets the knockout up, I think he can win. But he's got to worry about winning rounds too, because Zepeda is a guy that can go the distance and can win a decision. So he's got to make sure he's worried about that and he's concerned about that. And he's got to have the stamina. So the next thing is, can Regis Prograis win this fight by knockout? I think he can. Prograis is a power puncher. He's 23 knockouts and 27 wins. This guy brings the pain. I absolutely can see him winning by knockout. And we know Zepeda can be hurt. That's the one thing we know for sure. Okay, can he win by decision? I think he can, but I don't think he can blow out Zepeda by a decision. I don't think he's going to overwhelm Zepeda and outbox him completely. So if it goes to the scorecards, it's going to be close if Prograis wins the fight. Now, what does a win for Prograis mean here? It means everything. If he can defeat him, he is going to be the world champion, and you probably move Prograis up to number 2, right behind Taylor, because that's the only guy he's lost to, and so he moves right up to number 2, and he's got a belt now, so he can and then he has a showdown with Jose Ramirez, and say he can go defeat Jose Ramirez decisively, and maybe Taylor goes after Teofimo Lopez at 140, after he's done with Jack Catterall. There's such he's got such a bright future with a win here. So a win means everything for Prograis. What does a loss mean? A loss would be devastating, especially if he decisively loses. He loses a close fight, he can jump back in, but here's the thing. Prograis the one that has the promotion that's not a promotion that is easy to work with, is the best way of saying it. His promotion and Top Rank aren't two organizations that will work together unless they have to. unless it's a mandatory fight. So Prograis needs to win, because a loss really would hurt him in terms of even trying to climb back in the mix. And I think even a close loss would hurt him trying to get back in the mix, because he's not a name you're going to make a huge amount of money against if you fight him, and you're taking a big risk, and then you have to have the promoter hurdle that you would have to go through. So a loss for Prograis would really be detrimental to his career at this point. He's 33. He needs a win here. Let's move on to the other challenger, the former world title challenger, Jose Zepeda, and see what he's done rolling into this fight. Now, Zepeda is 5-0 since his second defeat of his career in February of 2019 against Jose Ramirez. That was a very close fight and loss. He lost a majority decision in Ramirez's hometown of Fresno, California. That was a very good fight that some people thought he won, but Ramirez closed the fight in the championship rounds out strong, and that's what really got him the victory there. But he is a very tough guy, Zepeda. He's, again, 5 wins since that loss. He's been very active since that loss. He defeated Jose Pedraza, I think, in his first fight back. I want to believe he beat Pedraza. But more importantly, his last 3 fights, those are the ones that I focus on. He took on Ivan Baranchyk in the fight of the year in October of 2020. They had a 8 knockdown fight that he finished off in the 5th round, knocking out what's his name, brutally knocking him out, and retaining putting himself out there in a major way, because they traded 8 knockdowns, 4 knockdowns apiece in that fight, and he ended up winning by knockout. So that was a huge win for him, and he's just rearing to go in his next one. It's going to be interesting to see this fight here, but he got that win. I think he bounced back and got a win over another little known guy. But then in October of last year, he took on Josue Vargas. That was his last fight. Vargas was talking a gang of shit going in, and Zepeda told him there's levels to this, and Zepeda taught him a lesson when they both tried to trade left hands, and he knocked out Vargas. He caught him cold, put him down hard, and Vargas was able to get up but could not hold on. He got destroyed, and now that's put him up into this position right here to fight for the vacant title. So this is a huge fight for Zepeda. He's rolling in, he's hungry, he's ready to go, and I really can't wait to see this one. So huge fight right here. So what kind of fight does Zepeda need to have? Well, their height is the same. They're both 5'8", they're both 33 years old. Neither one of them has fought a ton of rounds in the last 3 calendar years. They both need to be in great shape. I mean, that's the one thing. He needs to be in very good shape in order to win, to go the distance. But I definitely think if Zepeda can be the better boxer, and I've always felt that Zepeda, even though he's viewed as a power puncher, I mean, the guy's 35-2, 27 knockouts, but I've always felt that he was ever since the performance against Jose Ramirez, I feel like he's a very underrated boxer. I think he knows how to box. I think he just prefers, to power punch, but I also don't think he's that prototypical Mexican slugger style. He does know how to box. He is a southpaw also. I think he can win this fight by outboxing, and he has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. If I'm Zepeda, I'm using that. I'm using my jab, and I'm setting up the knockout, because we know Prograis is a great power puncher, and we also know Prograis got a good chin, and we also know that Zepeda almost got knocked out against Baranchyk. He got put down 4 times, so he can be hurt. And Prograis is the more natural 140-pounder. Zepeda started his career, a lot of his knockouts on his resume, he's 35-2, 27 knockouts. A lot of those knockouts occurred at lightweight. So, Zepeda is rolling into this fight. He's also never decisively lost a fight. He had that 2-round against Terry Flanagan, 2-round TKO loss, but he was injured in the fight. he didn't get knocked out, you know, legitimately. He got hurt, and it's called a TKO because he couldn't continue. Much the way Vitaly Klitschko lost to Chris Bird back in 2000, if you remember that one. But, you know, so this guy's never been decisively defeated either. So he's hungry. And if he can outbox Prograis, I think he has a good chance of winning. Now, can he win this fight by knockout? And the question is the real answer is I don't know. Because Prograis has shown a very good chin in his career. He's never really gotten hurt that I can see. We know Zepeda has. So can he win by knockout? I'm not sure. He is a good hard hitter. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I'm not 100% he can. So I don't know. Can he win a decision? I think a decision. Yeah, I think he could win a decision in this one. I think he has the ability to possibly outbox or at least outwork Prograis, and I think he's more used to going 12 rounds than or going the distance than Prograis is. So yeah, I could see him winning a decision here. Now, and it could be close, and he could beat him by decisively. It's just, you know, just depends on what kind of fight he has. Can he win by okay, next question is what does a win mean for Jose Zepeda here? And you know, straight up, a win means everything. A win means everything for Zepeda. It's his swan song. He's fought for titles twice, and he's came up short both times. And this is his time. He's 33 years old. He needs a win here. He needs a win. It means everything. It leads to bigger fights. And especially for him, he's the guy that's tied to Top Rank that he could guarantee. I mean, of course, a rematch with Jose Ramirez to avenge a loss is next, which is big for him because you kill two birds, one stone. I mean, but also if he can come out of that with another victory, if say he beats Ramirez in the rematch, if he does, that leads to possible fights with Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Top Rank has this division, has the best fighters in this division for sure, and he can and Top Rank is definitely, you know, the front runner for the major fights that could come out of this division. So a win for Zepeda is huge. It means so much for him. Now, can a loss would really hurt Jose Zepeda. He cannot afford to lose this fight. He needs a victory, and he really does, because a loss just puts him on the back burner. Yes, he'll have more opportunities because he's with Top Rank to jump back in the picture, but I think people will not be, because he doesn't bring a ton of money to the table. They're going to look at him as high risk, low reward kind of deal, and that would really hurt his chances. So he definitely needs a win. So now, the final two things that we talk about, is it better for boxing if Regis Prograis wins or Jose Zepeda? It's tough to say. I think that's about even, because Prograis got the bigger name, might be the flashier guy, but not by much. But it's going to be tough after a fight with Ramirez, which the winner has to defend against Ramirez next. But I don't know if rematches with Taylor and fights with Teofimo Lopez can happen because of promotions, different promoters. So it might be better for boxing if Zepeda wins, because you could see bigger fights then. But is a fight with Zepeda against, even if he beats Prograis, is a fight with Zepeda and Josh Taylor or Teofimo Lopez down the road, are those fights bigger? Again, it's 50-50 to me. I don't really think. I think it's good for boxing if either guy wins this fight. That's the truth. I would favor Prograis a little more because of his style. He's a little flashier, but at the same time, he works with a different promoter. And Zepeda's pretty fucking flashy and good too. And to be honest, Zepeda went and it was in the fight of the year a couple years ago, and that was a fucking great fight. And he provided a great knockout last year against Josue Vargas. So who's to say that Prograis is the flashier and better fighter from that aspect? So it's kind of up in the air, but I think you can go either way with it. But now my prediction: who's going to win this fight? And this one is one of those tough ones that I'm excited. I'm probably more excited for this fight than any other fight to close out the year. And the reason is because it's such a hard fight to call. I don't know who's going to win. I think you know, it could go either way. I really do. And my reasoning for picking Prograis to win here over Zepeda, which that's who I'm picking, is based on Prograis is, I think, a better power puncher and a good solid boxer puncher, but so is Zepeda. And again, it's not by much, but the fact that Prograis is the better power puncher in this division is the thing that's making me pick him. I think he might be a little hungrier to jump back in the mix because he's been there as a champion. But I don't know. I really think this fight could go either way. I think it's as close to a 50-50 fight as you can have. And I really think that Zepeda can walk. I would not be surprised at all if he wins this fight. I think this fight could end by knockout. I think it could be a very good back and forth fight of the year kind of candidate as well. And it could go either way. So we'll see what happens. But that's my breakdown video for Regis Prograis versus Jose Zepeda. I'm really looking forward to it. Saturday, November 26th on pay-per-view. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.